after page. Alone in the charts, I'm a one-man show. Candlesticks for hours, no one to know. TikTok trends fade, YouTube stars align. But I'm here with my trade, stuck in this time. Alone in the charts where the numbers collide. Futures rise and fall, but I'm by my side. Alone in the charts, I'm a one-man show. Candlesticks for hours, no one to know. TikTok trends fade, YouTube stars align. But I'm here with my trade, stuck in this time. Alone in the charts where the numbers collide. Futures rise and fall, but I'm by my side. Screen fades to black, I close my eyes. Tomorrow's a new chart, a new disguise. Lonely days, but I'll wake up again. Cause in the end, the market's my only friend. Alone in the charts, I'm a one-man show. Candlesticks for hours, no one to know. TikTok trends fade, YouTube stars align. But I'm here with my trade, stuck in this time. Alone.
Good morning, guys. What's up, Paul? How are you doing? Just give me a minute. We're still just trying to get our stuff set up this morning. What's up, fish lips? Bishops, man, that old lady post, man, really messes with my eyes, man. I don't know what it is. Every time I look at it, man, it's like the eyes just go do. I'm just like, don't look at it. Yeah, I hate that we're having all this crazy movement pre-market. Methodical Man says we got a protected high. So he's been, so if you notice, we're having a hard time pushing above this wick here at the 547s. So apparently this is a protected high, and it's very hard to break that high unless we run the 24,200s first. So it's almost like, I wonder if we're going to get finally that big push down for a few hundred points today. But just the craziness of the market recently has just been insane. Like definitely having some April flashbacks of last year, where the market was just like huge ATRs of like 50 to 100 point swings. It almost makes it untradeable. I remember one point last year, I feel like we'd had to have like a 40 point stop loss to even take a trade, because you would just get whipped. You would just get whiskey whipped with a 20 point stop loss like nothing. So you got to have a big stop loss. And you cannot take breakouts on 5-minute candles if you're trading 5-minute candles, because of the massive wicks. I mean, if you try to take a breakout on a 5-minute candle, it will just wreck you. You almost have to wait for a new 5-minute candle to take the trades on 5 minutes, just because we're having massive wicks. I mean, look how big these wicks are on the 5 minutes. It makes it extremely hard, but it also makes you be patient too. I do like the short here. If we can kind of get back below the 400s and kind of rerun this 4-hour low, previous 4-hour low candle down at the 325. So you might get a nice bounce this morning off the 300. Let me see where the midnight candle is closed. I haven't really looked for that this morning either. Let's see here. The midnight opening is sitting at 379. Let's see. Pretty much right there. Midnight candle was already paid once this morning. So that's definitely going to be a target to the downside this morning, the midnight candle. So it would even make me very iffy to even try to take a trade into that this morning. Let me see here. I got to start this. Dude, these insane swings, man, have been nuts. Like, I think we had another big swing at close yesterday. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the same one we were looking at last night. And these like 300 and 400 point moves are just insane. Dude, I can't imagine how many people have gotten wrecked this week in this price action. We've even been kind of down in our size to looking for a quick 10 points with the runner. So it's been kind of limiting how much money we've been making on our fundeds, but it's been a rough few weeks. Yeah, the volatility is just insane, man. If you're over leveraged, it will just eat your account right away. So I'm going to make sure I only try to take trades on brand new candles at all possible. Or if I do take a trade with a candle that's already in motion, it would need to hit some kind of like whole number or something, then pull back into another support, then start pushing. So, I mean, that's the only way that I will take a trade in the middle of a candle. I mean, I just think you just got to be really careful with the big wicks today. I know I feel like I've been on the struggle bus for the last couple weeks, ever since rollover week. I was hoping that this week would get much better, but I don't feel it. I feel like it's just as crazy. I don't know if it has something to do with spring break or what, but it's not any better. Let's see. All right. Listen to Methodical Man. I usually listen to Methodical Man while I stream. You know, he may say something important. Don't want to miss it. What's up, Nicholas? How are you doing? Oh, you're saying the the end of the month window dressing's coming soon for the JP. That's pretty good. We're good, man. Just got some sleep last night and ready to start another whole day of just repeat trade all morning and take a small break and come back tonight for Asia market. Like I said, I'm someone who does the same thing pretty much over and over every day. I get kind of just trapped in like just routines. So the Asian market is starting to get the Asian market's been having just weird price action lately, but we've been finding some decent trades in the Asian market. I'm hoping it gets one day that I'm comfortable trading the Asia market and I can look for funded trades. Oh no, trust me. I was on the phone with Methodical Man a while ago and he was taking a 2-minute inversion trade, and it just seems like, dude, anytime that I try to take trades pre-market, I get myself in trouble, and I don't know, I'll start off red, and I don't know. It's just best for me to stay away from the pre-market. I get myself in trouble. It's just best to stay away. At least for me. I know there's some people out there trading that one strategy, which I haven't really figured out. I want to say it's that JTP or JPT or something. I think that's the one that he's been pushing, the 8 o'clock 15-minute trade. But I don't really know the whole how the setup, what it is. If it's just a 15-minute breakout. So it's similar to the one I'm assuming that I like to take during the 9 to 9:15, but I like to see a low, a high, and a pullback. We actually had the setup yesterday. I can go back and show you what it looked like yesterday. This was it. It really paid big yesterday. I just didn't take it. So basically, this is your next high here. How much does a 1 minute cost? I'm not sure if I understand that question there. How much does 1 minute cost? I don't know if that I'm not sure about options. This is the futures market. But okay. So it depends on what market you're trading. The main 2 or 3 that I look at is NQ, the ES, and gold. So with the NQ, if you're trading NQ minis, is $20 a point or $5 a tick. I trade micros. Micros are 50 cents a tick, $2 a point. The ES is $50 a point, and at what, $15, $12.50 a tick. Then if you're trading the micros ES, it's $5 a point. I can't remember, what is that, like $1, whatever, $1.30, whatever it costs to go into the $5 4 times. Was that $1.50? No, not $1.50. $1.25. Something like that. I think $1.25. Then gold, if you're looking at gold, it's $100 a point. Then $10 a tick. Or if you're trading micros, and that's usually what I do. So what? 50 ticks. I don't know. Gold's a little weird. I don't know if that sounds right with gold. I want to say it's $10 a tick on the micros and $100 for a point. Yeah, $10 a point and $100 a point. Depends on if you're trading micros or the minis. But I'm trading with prop firms, so I'm using 25Ks, and 50K. So most of my trades are on the micros. Okay. See, I know very little about the option world. The only experience I have with options is selling calls with stocks that I've owned. That's the only time I've ever messed with options. So basically, options pays $50 for every dollar move with 50 delta. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of the options I'm very inexperienced with the options. I couldn't hardly tell you anything about them. And yeah, see, I couldn't even really compare the two because, like I said, I have no experience with options, so I couldn't really tell you which one's better. I know options seem kind of hard to me because you're in for it to the long run. Some of those option trades, where futures, I just want to know what's going on right this minute. You know, what's going on in the next 30 seconds, what's going on within the next few minutes. Then I can kind of go back and look at the past. But that's how I kind of, when I look at futures, I just worry about what I can get in the next 2 or 3 minutes. So I don't have to worry about holding trades. I probably wouldn't even do very good at swing trading because I think I would spend too much time staring at trades. So I want to knock out my first set of contracts within like a couple minutes, a minute or two at the most, then hold a runner. But if I try swing trading, I'd probably spend just as much time doing this trading on swing trading because I'd be constantly looking at my phone like this, like, crap. Yep. I think it's the same give. I think that's just something with TradingView that has that MQ1 on there. Because mine has that on there also. Let me pull that over. Yeah, so if you're on TradingView, it has it in there. Let's see. I usually keep it on the NQ, but you can change it to micros you want. You just got to make sure you type in whatever signal. I think even if I put there, it still has MNQ1, so it doesn't matter what you picked. So what it is, TradingView updates it for you. So they will update those contracts for you. That is the hourly candles and 4-hour candles. So I don't like to look at multiple charts whenever I'm trading in the morning because we have so much going on in the morning whenever let me check the time. We've got about 3 minutes. So whenever we got so much going on in the morning, I don't want to be looking at 3 or 4 different charts. So this way because I like to know where the hourly time frame lows and highs are at, because I like to look for different targets. Or if we just ran a 4-hour low, you don't want to be trying to short a 4-hour candle low. So this big square here is a 4-hour candle. This is a 4-hour candle. And these are 4 individually 1 hour candles that will make up your 4 hour candle at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. So it just allows me to see the hourly candles. It's called a opening range indicator, and so you can adjust it kind of to whatever you want to, fix whatever you're doing. So if, a lot of people would use it like if you like to take the 15-minute opening range, so like that 8:30 or 9:30 to 9:45, this would be a good indicator to use. And this way it just marks it out for you. And the smaller ones, like this gold box, is one of the 15-minute candles that I like to trade off of. This is the 9 o'clock to 9:15. I'm not really sure who is through. I have it free in my Discord. If you're using Ninja. It's just called opening range. And the gold lines that you see, that's just me copying the mic because I use the Fibonacci pivots. All right, less than 1 minute to go, guys. So per methodical man, we got a protected high up there. For only way us to move up, we would have to run the 24,180s. So this whole move has to get run before we can move higher. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but that's kind of what we've been running into. You can see we've already made multiple pushes up there. Elusive, you just pick whatever platform you're trading with. They give you a choice to pick between like TradingView or Quantower or NinjaTrader or whoever you're trading your trades on. And they give you a login password to log in. All right, guys, 4 seconds left. I think that's just is that going to be a fake out? I think that's a fake out. All right, we'll kind of focus on the charts for a minute. So as right now, we've been having some massive 15-minute candles at the opener. This is a almost a 60, 70 point 15-minute candle. The sweet spot's around 40. So I use Elusive on TradingView, but I have it tied to my NinjaTrader account. Because NinjaTrader and TradingView are the same company. Or they owned by the same company. We have yet to break out of our 15-minute range. Long, guys, it's going to be probably very tough if you're looking for the longer. Uh-oh, did my mic just go out? Uh-oh, I think my mic just went out. That was weird. My mic stopped. That was strange. I think it's back. Okay. All right, we're back. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know if my stream lost connection or if the microphone lost connection. Also, I usually never take trades with inside this gold box. And that's your 15-minute candle. Most of the time, I wait for us to get out of that 15-minute candle. Yeah, that slipped for a second. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I haven't ever seen it do that. I know we're having a lot of construction in my area, so hopefully they're not messing with the internet. Or they cut something. Because I know they're doing a lot of digging across the street. Because we have fiber here, and all the fibers, underground. So, and I know with them doing a lot of digging over there, sometimes that stuff gets hit. The ES is coming to resistance. Like I said, we do not usually take trades inside of the 15-minute range. So that's kind of what we're waiting on. We're waiting to see what's going to happen until we get out of the 15-minute range. It's even going to be very iffy to take the shorts here. I feel like we're just in a really tough spot. To the top side, you got the protected high with the previous day high at 547. Then to the bottom, you got the midnight opener with the previous day open and previous day close. Wow, this 5 minutes is going to close inside this 15 minutes. That's your first 90 or 85, 90 hit. Remember, I don't ever take longs into the 90 and the 500 on the first push. We always make sure, because most of the time we'll get some kind of reversal off the whole numbers. And we're trading funded accounts, guys. So we're not going to be here, trying to stay away from stupid trades. Completely different when we're trading fundeds and evals. Oh, thinking of funded. I need to switch over to a funded. There we go. We need a big sell off today, Ponzi. We need like a 400 or 500 point sell off all the way down to the 24,200s. There's your first. There's your first 500 hit, 510 hit. So remember what I was saying, between the 510 and the 90 is always the toughest. So 510 back to 90. Then a lot of times on evals, I would try longs back above the whole number. I won't consider a long here unless we get above the previous day high. And that's at 547. So that's the 25. So we should get a pullback back into the 500s. Even though we did kind of get a nice little pivot set up this morning, if you like to trade off pivots. But I didn't take it because we're within inside of the 15 minutes. That can be very difficult. It's not that you can't make money off of trading gives. The hard part is putting pressure on yourself to make money on trading. That's the hard part. That's what I'm looking for. I want to see us get above the previous day high. I'm only being a patience, Nicholas, because we're looking for funded trades. No, I wouldn't. Remember, I don't take longs into the previous day high because you get very whipsaw price action. So always try to have your previous day high marked out. And we got a protected high to the left of us. We've yet to break that 547. See, if you had jumped in long up here because you're thinking we're going to continue, this wick would have got you. Nasty, nasty wicks, guys. This was another thing we kind of mentioned pre-market. The ATR on some of these 5-minute candles are like 60, 70 points. And if you get one of these big wick pullbacks, man, it will just destroy all your profit. And if you're over leveraged, blow your account. So since I trade off the 5 minutes, I always wait for a new 5 minutes. Yeah, I have no problem with the questions. What's up, Butterfly? How are you doing? I'm sorry, dude. I missed your message. Can you trade minis or micros? You can trade either or, depending on what your threshold is. I trade micros. And so a lot of times I always stay away from 5-minute candles with big wicks like this. I've taken these before and they seem like they always fail for me whenever I've taken them. So I just stay away from them. That's what I'm waiting on, Giz. I'm waiting for us to see what happens with the previous day high, to see if we can break that previous day high. A lot of times, if we can print above that previous day high, you get a nice move to the upside. And then eventually it'll come back through that previous day high. Then you can get a big move to the downside. But right now, we just gotta have to sit here and just be patient and wait and see what happens. But methodical man. See, I don't know a whole lot about how. I know he's explained it to me a few times on the protected highs. So we have a protected high sitting at 547, and so we're having a hard time getting above 547. We almost need to run the 24,200s for us to move higher. Yeah, there's that possibility too. If it just wicks above it, then comes back. So when I play the previous day high, a lot of times if we're going to long it, we wait to get a candle to print above it, then wick back into it because we usually retest that target. So far, guys, very tough price action this morning. I mean, we're getting some movements, but it's just these dirty wicks, man. These dirty wicks will just ruin your day. I can imagine what it looks like on the lower time frame where it's just the 1 minute's going or the going straight up and just yanking back. This would be gold. I don't know if anybody's trading gold. Usually we don't trade gold during the daytime. We do have oil news today. I want to see it come back out the bottom side and break through the 400s. Let's see here. Especially if we lose 50% of this 15-minute candle. So this would be kind of like the 50% of the kind of the overall move at the moment. If you're long here, you want to see this area hold. What are my ticks at? Right now I'm looking for 40 and I got 0. I don't really have a target for my last runner. I usually try to get 60 ticks on the first trade, but this price action's been so tough lately that if I can just knock 10 points off real quick and see if my runner survives. Oh yeah, I can imagine the 15-minute looks like trash this morning. A lot of times if price action don't get any better, that's when we'll decide to say no funded trade today and we'll just switch over to evals. I might have misunderstood the question, Nicholas. It says I'm at the 24,550.75. Usually the oil doesn't affect the NASDAQ too much though. At least I haven't seen that in the past. I'm not saying that can't happen now just because how expensive oil's been going. Fish Lips, how are you doing so far this morning? Everything's kind of crossing over on my Rico candle, so we are getting at least a trend moving down on the Rico candles. I think if we can just lose this area here, then your only other thing that you have to get through is the 380s. Yeah, very tough, man. I haven't taken no trades. We've been just kind of sitting on the sidelines. You're buying here, Butterfly? I know I'm tempted not even try a funded trade today. Now, if we switch over to an eval, we're probably going to take trades because evals, I will be a little bit more aggressive with my trading with the evals. But when it comes to fundeds, no. Fundeds, we're just sitting very, very patiently and waiting. And that's the reason why is because I've been struggling on my fundeds lately. It's because we took green yesterday. And so now it's like it's been going green, red, no trade, green, red. Like it's been that way since last week with my fundeds. Like we have not had any consistency with our fundeds in the last week. The fundeds are still surviving, but just no consistency. Like I've been stuck around the same price range for around the same area price forever. So like I still need $900 more to get to where's that at? We're sitting at 52,700, so we still need another $900 to get to payout. So we've been stuck between the 600 and 800s for it seems like 2 weeks now. Now, usually I would possibly like this short where we get a big 5-minute candle, small wick. But the fact that the previous day open and close is here, and it's at a whole number. And we've been reversing out of this area so much. All right, so that's a good sign. We're breaking this, so maybe the move is to the downside. Let's wait and see what happens with this 80 level here. It's trying to get through it. You see it struggling a little bit. Look there, 75. Back up to the 90s. So maybe the next push will break it. That was your midnight opener. Cannot get through the 80s. Still struggling to get through the 80s. We lose the 80s, we may get a waterfall here. Still struggling with the 80s. We also wick past the previous hourly candle there, also at the 70s. So anytime that you see this gold dotted line on my chart, this is your midnight opener. Oh, it's very loud. Let me turn it down. Oh, do I have it way too loud at Methodical? Is that better? I think the amp was turned all the way up. No response? Let me see. I did add some gain the other day to this because I thought it was too soft. So I might be able to remove that. $40 left. 30 seconds left. Give me a minute. I'll fix it on the other side. I think I had that gain turned up too high. Was kind of waiting to see if that 80 level was going to hold up. We're looking for to try to take a trade under the 80 level. We're waiting to see if 80 is going to hold. We're just waiting. You're kind of hoping the 400 holds up here if we're going to look for shorts. What's up, Nick? How are you doing today? Let's see. Let's see. Sorry about the microphone if it sounds a little low. Man, looks like they just trapped below the... This is why we kind of wait and see what happens. We don't usually just enter. We just try to be patient and wait. This way, if the shorts don't work out, no harm, no foul. And now this could be a retest of the 15 minutes. So if you pull fib from here to here, that could be the Hmm. 80 will be my line in the sand here, guys. So if we start pushing back above 80, I'll close my trade. This way we just limit our losses. This thing's still. I'll put my mouse on the close. We do not want to reclaim the 80. Very whippy right now. Right there at the 4-hour low. Nice. Perfect. The 80 paid, guys. The 80 paid. Just had to be patient and wait. Yeah, we can move it lower. I didn't want to battle those 4-hour lows. Yeah, we took the short off the 80. Remember the midnight? That was that midnight opener there. And then we just look for a target after we enter. And I already had that 4-hour marked as my target. So we ended up with 120. And that's just 3 micros, guys. That means just popping a 10 points, 10-point risk. We only risked what, $60 for that trade. So we wouldn't even in that trade a whole bunch. But remember how I said, do not enter on candles that have already printed on the 5 minutes if you're trading the 5 minutes. And this is why. This is why you cannot chase the breakouts. The whipsawing so bad today. Yeah, that was on the fundeds. So that's the back-to-day. We actually got back-to-back winning days on the funded again. So that puts us, what? We need to get to $3,600. Let's see. I'll kind of isolate it. That way you can see it a little better. So we just took the one funded trade. We're up $52,830. So we've already taken a $1,000 payout on this account. This is the one that we're trying to get back to payouts. But once you take a payout on Bulenox, you only got to make $1,000 to get another $1,000 payout. And I have 2 accounts that are within $2,000 payouts. And this one, I still need to get to $3,600. So we still need to make another $775. So hopefully by the first week or 2 into April, we can get there. Unless price action just stays crappy the way it is. All right. So let me break down like what we're looking at when we're trading this. So the reason why I did not take that breakout is because I've been watching the midnight candle opening for at least a month now, and we always get some kind of resistance around the midnight opening, and that was at the 380. And this is kind of where we were bouncing off of. And so once we got that new candle and you saw that wick into that 80 and it held, that was almost a positive sign that, hey, we're probably going to be moving down. But I wasn't sure how far, so the next best choice was to look for that 4-hour low. And I can't even tell, I don't even think we ran the 4-hour low. Nah, we missed it by like a few points. This is the nasty girl being nasty to you right here, thinking that you're going to run that 4-hour low candle, and she stops within, what, 3 points before the low? And yank it back up, freaking 70 points. Oh, shoot. Get yanked. Might just end up sticking with the evals the rest of the day, guys. I think we feel blessed just to have one good trade in today. Usually I copy trade so I don't have to look for multiple trades, but I haven't been copy trading much lately. Yeah, that pivot, I would have liked to taken that pivot trade up there, Nick. The only reason why I didn't take it was because it was inside the 15 minutes. If it wasn't inside my 15-minute candle, I would have liked that pivot play right there. I think that was another nice play where you get this big 5-minute candle with a big wick and wait for your next 5-minute candle to print with a little wick just right back through your pivot. Then that would have been a trade I would have liked, but like I said, I try not to take trades in that 15 minutes. Oh, Methodical Man said he took the backdoor trade. Now, this could be another pivot retest here, Nick. And this would be a 15-minute retest possible here for us to continue down lower. Oh. Remember, guys, we switched over to an eval. So I don't usually look for as clean setups whenever I'm trading these. Remember, guys, I'm also trading $15 and $18 evals. So I'm not trading expensive evals. So be more cautious if you're trading expensive evals. I mean, that was the 50% pullback inside the 15 minutes. Ooh, look at that nasty candle. goodness. Oh, you didn't expect the big run up. Oh goodness, that was nasty. Dude, I almost got put in a nasty trade last night when he had I luckily enough had my stop loss in the right place. And someone's like, I need to watch True Social. And I was like, dude, no one's watching True Social. Because I don't really look at a lot of like social media stuff. But that thing like dumped like 50 points last night. Or it wicked down 50 points. What time is it? Was that news? No? Oh, maybe. Was that a delayed oil news? Oh, you were watching? Oh, goodness. Yeah, that was an insane like candle. It caught me so off guard. There's nothing worse than when you're going to just super slow trading. You're like watching the grind. You're over here like trying to stay awake. Then all of a sudden you get like a 50, 60 point candle out of nowhere in the middle of the Asia market. So just this stuff has just been wrecking people on both sides recently, guys. I'm anticipating a move back to the downside. So if you see this, as long as this pivot holds here, I'm looking for a move back to the downside. And like I said, we will be a little bit more like more aggressive on our eval. I try not to short on the first push through the whole number, because you always get some kind of resistance. So you want to make sure that we're going to push through that whole number. So that would have been your first push down to the 90. Most time you come up back to the 410, and then you want to kind of start seeing it push again. The only thing that worries me here is this is the previous close and opening also, and there's always a lot of resistance around this level. These are very hard levels to trade around. If you wanted to be safe on your short, you would need to get back below the 380s. All right, so it looks like the NASDAQ wants to touch that pivot after all. She needs to touch the pivot up there before she goes down. Oh, sorry, TikTok. I lost my chat here. Sorry if I missed any questions, guys. We're trading on with the Bulanox, Luciv, and My Funded Futures. I just got a my funded futures account last night, so that would be my first one in a while. That was the 50%, guys, of that 15-minute candle. Usually what I do there, Nick, is you would like to see it print above the pivot and kind of like a retest. I mean, there is no like guaranteed long location. I'd be very iffy with longs today. I try not to long up there around the previous day high. I just try to stay away from it. It gets super choppy. So it's usually, I mean, you might be able to take like a quick like scalp type trade, but unless it breaks that previous day high up there at 547, we're just going to keep reversing or, just keep bouncing back out of that area. Good thing you're not trading today. I'm just glad to be done with my funded trade, and now we can maybe look for a few eval trades because this price action has been fairly tough this morning. We are not getting good follow through. So there's your pivot test at the 60s. Now we're about to see, do we print above it here? What a reverse off the pivot, guys. 20 points. 20 points off the pivot. If you're on the wrong side of the pivot, it's like good times. But man, if you're on the wrong side of it, you're wrecked. So let's see if we can squeeze back above it. The ES just touched the VWAP. Methodical Man says that we're at a Manzini possible squeeze level, at a Manzini's possible squeeze level at the 47. Was kind of waiting to see if we we're going to push up here. All right, I'm going to try long above the pivot here. But remember, this is eval only, guys. Very, very risky taking longs to the top side. Look, thing just already ripped my face back off. We're on eval too. No funded, guys. Remember that. I take a little bit more riskier trades with the fundeds. I mean, evals. That 25.30 will be my line in the sand. And I tell you guys that when I'm on evals, I don't recommend to ever follow eval trades. Yeah, I need to fix that. I'm sorry about that. We're still kind of struggling at the pivot here, guys. Does that sound a little bit better? I'll give this thing a few more times to try to move to the top side. If it can't move it, I'm just going to close it because I don't want to be sitting through this and we get one of those crazy death candles to the downside. And we've been getting those a lot lately, so they kind of weird me out. You have a long already? Yeah, I think I just need to redo my just delete everything and just redo it. So technically this is usually a short for me. So this is why I'm kind of iffy on my long here. Ooh. So 340 will be my line in the sand here, guys. I just feel like it could go either way at the moment. We haven't broke the previous candle yet. So what I'm saying about that is if you look to the left, so this is a hourly candle. We did not break that previously hourly candle. So I don't know if we continue the higher lows here. Unfortunately, this is just a eval only, guys. Fast, does the volume sound any different? I wonder if I need new mic, like new cords or something. Let me switch to different stream. I would not. I'd never take a first trade into the 90s. I mean, you know, that's just my preference. So you hit the 90 once, you got to pull back. You'll probably hit the 500s. You'll get a pullback. Yeah, you can still find trades. I don't know about funded trades. I mean, that's your preference. Usually I try to cut my funded trades off fairly early in the morning after I get my first fundeds, then just look for a few eval trades. Sounds good, Nicholas. Thank you for hanging out this morning and chit-chatting. Did you take the short or long a while ago? Number one tip for beginners. Probably to spend as little as money as possible when starting out. Try to find the cheapest way to trade paper accounts or cheap evals if you're just starting out. Look at this nasty wick off the 500. Oh, that was dirty. This is what I mean by jumping in on these 5-minute candles today, guys, if you're buying the breakouts. That's just dirty. I might just close this. Man. What? All right. We're just going to close that for the runner. That was dirty. So we did not make a new high. So this is what I was talking about a while ago. I didn't know if we would make a new high here. Oh my goodness. Oh, is this thing going to skyrocket back up there? Oh, dude, that is so dirt. My goodness, guys. The market is just being nasty today. It didn't even break my stop loss. Then you're just going to blast back up there. Oh, my goodness. 5 minutes to crude oil. My goodness, people. This stuff is just insane. Oh, my goodness. That is almost untradeable. Very rare do I see a candle pull back with all wick. Then we just blast back up freaking 50 points. Or 60 points. Oh, let me get the people who jumped in to try to chase that. Because you know that's what happened. Somebody saw this big breakout candle. They jumped in, and then they rug pulled you up there around the 500s again. This thing is just rug pulling you. What did Methodical Man do over there? That came back from the Asia highs. Is that what that was there, Jag? It's going good, Java. But the price action has been super nasty this morning, man. We just basically took our one funded trade and an eval trade. So now we're just kind of just sitting on the sidelines at the moment. I just got stopped out of my long on my runner. I was long from here. I had my stop loss sitting at 38 below this swing here. I thought this was going to blast it with this big nasty pullback here. And as soon as I closed my trade, man, the very next candle shot up 60 points. Just crazy price action today, man. The volatility is just making it so hard to read the market. Like nothing's not even making sense. It's just insane. Do you know this stuff is just destroying people's accounts with these breakouts, then these 40, 50 point pullbacks? And I think I heard Methodical Man over there saying like some people are not getting filled. So the longs are very iffy until we run that 547. If we can't make it above 547, it's going to continue being like this until we run the 24,200s. Yeah, I'm hoping April we can get back to we didn't get a payout for this month, but I'm hoping April we can either get one or two because we still need to make another $775 to get another payout. And the other account, I still need, is it 800? No. Almost, what is that? $900. Need $900. Well, I'm not really like Methodical Man was telling me that this is a protected high up here at 547. So most of the time to break those protected highs, you need to run the low of that leg. And the low of that leg is back down there at 24,200. So that's why I was thinking that we would move down. I thought, man, when we broke the 300 over here, I thought that we were going to be going back downtown. But we pretty much just ran this 4-hour low from that. No, we didn't even run the previous 4-hour candle. So we're still inside this 4-hour candle from overnight. So because we haven't broke the high or the low on that 4-hour candle. It seems like all the moves have been just coming in one candle. Have y'all noticed that? It's like all of our big moves have been just one candle straight up. That's what it seems like. And you miss it because no one's in that stuff, because unless it's an accident. And that's usually what happens. I mean, no one can, predict those freaking 300-point candles. If you can, that would be awesome. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I got a freaking thing open somewhere. Oh, there it is. I was like, where is that? Oh. Okay. No, I don't know. The only way I consider us going higher, hell, we would have to get above the previous day high up there at 547. So unless you break that 547, we're probably not going higher. And that's above that previous day close. And you would have to kind of get the breakdown, what the protected high is. Methodical Man has explained it to me a few times, but I never can remember. I just need to get a recording. That way, when he tells me. Oh, is Trump supposed to speak today? It is a high resistance high, a wick that took out another wick inside of a fair value gap. This is on the hourly. So there's your definition of a protected high, guys. I will copy and paste it and put it in the other chat over here too. So that's what your protected high is per Methodical Man. Uh-oh, Methodical's talking about a long. I'm surprised you're longing up into this mess, Methodical Man. But he's looking at probably the 2 minutes, so I probably don't see what he's seeing on the 2 minutes. Because I'm on the 5 minutes, so it looks a little bit more wicky on the 5 minutes. And these are actually big candles. I mean, this is like what, already a 30 point, almost 40 point 5-minute candle. So as long as you're on the right side of these 5-minute candles, I mean, you're probably going to knock out your 10, 15 point trade just because these 5-minute candles are so big. You just cannot jump into them after they've already been printed for a couple minutes. If you're going to jump in on these 5-minute candles off like support and resistance, you want to do it fairly early. Is there anybody else in a trade right now? Is anybody stuck in a short or long here? So far, guys, only 2 trades. We took the short below from 380 down to 3. You trade the Forex. Okay. See, I've never tried the Forex trading or currency trading. Is that hard to do? Or is it just similar to like the futures trading? Or is it just pretty much the same, just different movement? This is GIB. This is MNQ. So this is the MQ on micros. Small profit long, chickened out. Well, dude, that thing scared me out too. I closed my runner. This big wick right here, it made my diamond hands crumple like like paper. I was sitting there like, oh yeah, we're holding for a nice long to that 1 hour candle. That big wick pulled back and just crushed me. I was like, no. So you're so right about that, Jag. This last week and a half, man, has been all about surviving this price action. Make your, try not to blow up your funded accounts. I wouldn't even over leverage until you see a little bit of normal market come back. So, a lot of big wicks. And see, we're making higher lows on the 1 hour candles. So if you kind of pull down a little bit, you can see that we're making higher lows on your 1 hour candle. So is this going to be like your 1 hour trend line here? Okay. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, okay. How's everybody else this morning been so far? I gotta ask, is anybody trading minis here? With this big ATR, with the size of these candles, is anybody trading minis? It's almost like you would need like 150 or 200 Java. You're doing minis. It's crazy, Java. Woo. Have you lost any accounts today, Java? From trading a mini. just trade mainly minis. Not today. That's good, because today has been pretty insane with the wicks. I know if I try to throw a mini down there, I just get wrecked, dude. The first time I put a mini in there, it only took 2 trades today. Same here. Yeah, usually after you get those first few past evals, you start overthinking more. You know, you start thinking of all the possibilities of a bounce here, or a level here, or a higher low here. I think it turns into just overthinking the market. Yeah, see, that's pretty good right there, Glass. Just 1 trade a day. See, that's what I stick to with my funded accounts. That's why I always tell you guys whenever I'm trading evals and fundeds, just because I trade them completely different. Yep, I've been doing the same thing. I can go back and show you like all my trades, what my Bulanox accounts since December, and you can see almost I've had like a couple little big wins here and there, but mostly they've all been consistent between $60 to $140. And the same with my losses. I try to do the same thing with losses too. Yeah, it adds up, man. You build that little buffer. Yeah, if you go back and so I've been trading this account for about 2 months, and we've only had 3 losses. And for out of 3 losses, we lost 187, we lost 121, and 151. And we just try to keep our losses fairly small. I think I had 1 big loss one day because I went in twice. What, my 50K, and this is all my losses probably since November, December with this account. So my largest loss was a $400 day. And I know what I probably did. I probably went in twice trying to get my money back, and we took a loss. But after that, so 131, 101, 187, $26, and 138. Yeah, just keep the consistent losses small, and eventually, you know, if you can get on a little run, they just add up. And those are funded trades there. Dude, if we can get above this previous day high, man, I feel like we blast. But that's how I've been pretty much trying to build my fundeds. Is just I try to look for $60 to $140 wins every day. Now, I have blown 1 funded this year so far, and that's my Lucif account. Unfortunately, I hate that I did that too, because we were like halfway to $1,000. I think we were up like $500 or $600 in it, and I took a bad loss one day, and I was like, screw it, we're going to try to get it back. And anytime you try to get your money back after a loss, most of the time it goes against you, because you're not waiting on that, you know, level that you're looking for, and you're just like, oh, it looks like it's going to go up here, and you jump in and it goes in your other direction. Then before you know it, you're just holding on to it, holding on to dear life every time. Yeah, like you said, every time, man. Anytime that you revenge trade, it goes against you every time. Like it never fails. It says, all right, not trying to laugh at your sentence there. I blew 3 fundeds for the past 4 weeks. Woof. That is rough there, man. That would make me want to take a break. Unless you're getting payouts to pay for those funded accounts. Okay, so you're DCA into them? Okay, yeah, that can get you too. Now, I will DCA into evals, but I won't do it with a funded. The DCA in, I just take my loss. So this is why I said if it goes against me at loss, just every now and then I'll break that rule, but I try so hard not to. If I take my loss, just keep the loss. Because it's, because you got to sit there and stare at the red for the rest of the day. He's like, a lot of times I'll just disconnect and go to a different eval. Woo. Okay. Yeah, I say if you're going to DCA, at least build you a little buffer first. That seems to help me a little bit before I over leverage a little bit, is to try to start off small and build you a little buffer. Because the worst feeling is when you start a funded account and the very first trade is a big loss. And that's where a lot of times because I know I have done this in the past, you go in heavy looking for that very big first move and it ends up being a big loss where you lose like 25 or 30% of your, drawdown. And then you try to get it back. And next thing you knew, your funded account is gone in one day. That is the worst. To blow your funded account in one day. Hey, what time is it? Yeah, I eventually want to try a cash account too again. I tried one very, very briefly when I started trading. And after losing like a couple $100, I decided just to use the prop firms. This way, with using prop firms, I can control and I already know how much is on the line when I'm trading. So I know when I trade an eval, like, okay, I got this much invested in the eval. If I lose it, I'm going to lose that much money. The same thing with my fundeds. This way, if I'm trading a $2,000 cash account, I know there's that possibility of me wiping out the $2,000. Oh, you do that a lot too, Nick, where we're talking about where if you don't get that first good trade, you over leverage. I haven't even taken a elusive trade. I was hoping that we would be able to get a few more trades in today, guys, but this price action just kind of just stuck. Most of the time I want to say over trading, but we usually take quite a bit of trades when trading evals. And plus, we were trying to get back on a little win streak because, like I said, the win streak has been hurting lately. Yeah, well, like I said, I do it on my. I will DCA with evals, but I've never got to the point where I feel comfortable doing it with a funded account. Dude, we're still trying to break that previously hourly candle. Or actually, no, this would be considered a 4-hour high now of the previous 4-hour candle. because this would be your 2 to 6 a.m. 4-hour candle, and this would be your 6 to 10 o'clock 4-hour high here. For about 2.5 years consistently, Paul. And I would say overall we're still in the red from probably how much money I've spent in the first 2 years. But that's probably with most people that usually start out trading. They're gonna spend their fair share of money in the beginning. It just depends on how much you're gonna spend. I couldn't give you a number because I have not kept up with it. Husk has spent $1 million. Negative on the $1 million. Methodical, man. I'm surprised you're over here slinging the rock in this stuff, man. Oof. I'm hoping during the lunch hour, man, we get some nice movement after we've sat around and consolidated all morning. You got to get tuned up for the competitive. Shoot. Your paper hands are going to crumble under the pressure, Methodical. You're going to be put in the books. Be put in the books like back in the day. When you take that L, you get put in the books. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that's very easy to do on demo accounts. It's because you don't have the risk factor behind it. His diaper's going to have a blowout. We're going to make those paper hands crumble, fish lips. He's going to be over there shaking like, whoo, I just took 10 points. Is anybody in a long besides Methodical, man? Actually, let me see if he's in. No, you didn't. I haven't looked at his screen, man. He's got a magnet drawn at the top up there. What an arrow. Oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness. I wasn't even looking at your screen, Methodical. I didn't know you had the magnet put on there. He's looking for all kind of help. It gives me some confidence. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh shoot. Yeah, if you want to see why I'm laughing, go check out Methodical Man's stream. He's got him an arrow with a little horseshoe put up there. He's trying to draw the market closer. Oh my goodness. That's pretty good. All right, so Hades is in a short. Nice. I like the shorts better than I do the longs. Unless the longs can get through this 547. This is why I do not take entries. I try to stay away from entries up there this close to the previous day high, guys. You need to really wait and see what happens with this previous day high. Oh, goodness. Methodical Man, are you doing a giveaway also? Yep, Methodical Man's doing a giveaway too for anybody who wants to join a Methodical Man's giveaway. I'm not sure what kind of account he's given. Okay, so you said this is the 50% on the massive leg here. Like into a discount. I used to do the same thing when I first started. Like, I would only look for longs. I used to have a hard time with shorts because they happen so fast. Let's see. We will put a Methodical Man's link in here for anybody that wants to go over there and join his giveaway. I think you'll have to subscribe, though. I think you got to be subscribed for like a minute. You just have to see. Okay, he said he's doing a My Funded Futures giveaway, which is a good account because that's a pretty pricey account. That's like what? I think a $80, $90 account. So that's a good account. And there's no activation fee either, I don't think. So once you get it, if you pass it, it's a funded. No worries, fish lips. Methodical Man's got the magnet on, so it's going to go up. He's turned up the magnet, unless he forgot to pay his bill. He might have forgot to pay the bill. No power. All right, guys. I put a Methodical Man's link in the chat for anybody that wants to go over there and join his giveaway. The diaper's leaking. I'm not really sure why it won't let you click on YouTube. The name is Methodical Man. Sure. Sorry if I fat fingered anything, but that's his name. And if you don't win his account, if you also go over to My Funded Futures TV channel, every hour they do 5 giveaways every hour, or at least during the streams. They release forms for you to fill out. I've never done one, so I don't really know the whole like spill what you got to put in there, but I know they do 5 giveaways every day during Mine and Methodical Man stream. During the My Funded Futures. And that's like every day. Dude, Methodical Man's DCAing up into the trade. Guys, there's just not really anything for us to do here, but this kind of sits. Sorry, it's like just so boring as far as no trades or anything goes. All we can do is just kind of sit on our hands and wait. I would prefer to see us, even though I know Methodical Man's long, I would prefer to see us sell back down. At least we would get some kind of movement to the downside. Because I don't think we're going to be able to get above the previous day high here. I think we need to run down 200 or 300 points. Hades, are you still holding your short? You're on a 5K account? Who is that? Is that like $5,000 cash account, Hades, or is that with a prop firm? We need a tweet from the big man. Oh. What time is it? Dude, it's already 10 o'clock. Man. This last 2 hours have gone by fast. So far, guys, only 2 trades. We took this long here above the pivot. We did get up 40, 50 points on our runner, but we pretty much just ended up closing our runner down because I thought that with this big wig that it was just going to continue back down to the downside. But literally the very next candle just shot up 50, 60 points. So we have not entered since then. On the trade from this morning, I thought that we were going to at least run the 4-hour previous low candle there, and we did not. So in this one, we got pretty much short under the midnight opening candle, which was at 380. And so we were able to at least get, I think, 40 points out of this. We were short from 70, and I think we took it down to like 40 or 35 or something like that. I think 40. I think we took it down to 40. Because we ended up with a 120 profit off of the funded. And that was the only funded trade today. So far, that's the only 2 trades that we've taken today so far. So guys, we got probably about 5 more minutes. I have to get my stuff ready to switch over to my funded futures. For anybody that wants to continue watching, I will be streaming with the Methodical Man on my funded futures from 11:30 to 12:30. So we can trade some of Methodical Man's magnets. I don't think his magnets is working because it looks like he's just spamming it sounds like he's just spamming the DCA button. He looks like he's in like freaking 20 micros or some crazy stuff over there. Oh my goodness, Methodical. Look at all them orders on the screen, man. I don't know if you're over there, Nick, but he's got like 20 or 30 contracts. Oh, been there, done that. Just spamming the buy button. Like, that's pretty good. Oh my goodness. Oh, did he get all of them? Maybe he got all of them. They look like they're closed. Okay, nice. Like I said, we probably won't take any more trades, and we'll just go ahead and call it today. Then take a few minute break, then head over there in a few minutes. So we'll stream over there from 11:30 to 12:30. Then we'll be back for the Asia market tonight at 8 o'clock. We got a really nice trade in the Asia market last night, guys. I think we ended up with like almost a 65-point trade last night in the Asia market. And we almost had the bottom picked out pretty good last night. So I think this would have been it somewhere in here. Nope. I think it was. It was this play here. Because we took it down to the 55. And I remember we had, oh yeah, this was what we would, okay. It was this trade right here. So when we were taking it right at the 55, I think is where we took our profit, and we were short up here at 614, 615. So we ended up finding a really nice trade in the Asia market last night. The good thing about the Asia market trading, guys, most of the time, if you don't over leverage, it gives you a out. That is the only good thing about trading the Asia market. I mean, think if you got long here where I got short, if you can just hold on with a few micros, it will mostly every time come back to where you entered. Every now and then you'll get those crazy dump candles like the Black Swan event where it just keeps dumping and dumping. And I actually got caught in one of those back in December or January where I was short and I kept just DCAing trying to get out of it, and it just would not come back. It just ended up blowing my eval. The 66 is undefeated so far for the ES. Oh, come on, ES. Give it up. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching this morning. We're going to take like a 10-minute break and I got to get my chart set up to go to My Funded Futures. And me and Methodical Man will be over there at 11:30. Even if you just stop by, hit the subscribe button, maybe slap the like button. You don't have to like stick around the whole time if you got things to do. Just give us a like and subscribe. And if we don't see you over there, we will see you again tonight during the Asia market. All right, guys, have a good one. I still like the shorts. I don't really like the longs unless you get back above 547.